Hello, this is your host, Austin Hopkins, and welcome to the Introvert Leader Podcast. Welcome to the episode. Happy to have you here for kind of a shorter, different kind of episode. Usually I come up with kind of an outline or a pretty robust script, bullet points, things that I kind of want to make sure I cover because I'm talking about important stuff, stuff that I think is really beneficial for anyone who's navigating their career, their personal, professional journey. But today what I thought I would do differently is kind of just an off-the-cuff episode. So it's going to be shorter, but today we're going to be talking about being yourself at work and what that means to me and why it's important, and kind of just tell you my thoughts on it. So a little bit of verbal diarrhea, for a lack of a better term, is kind of what my vibe is for this episode. So to kind of kick things off, why do I even want to chat about this? Well, I was doing a post on LinkedIn a few days ago about being yourself and got some really good engagement. A lot of people were resonating with it. And I think it's something that I kind of keep going back to. As someone who was a people pleaser, I, for years, really cared about saying and doing the right things, right? And I really wanted to make sure that I fit in. I wanted to make sure that whatever was going on at work, that I was kind of staying under the radar, that I wasn't ruffling feathers, that I was just following, everybody else, falling in line. And gosh, it kind of worked a little bit at first. I felt like, I was quote unquote moving ahead. But it's funny, the longer I was trying to be something that I wasn't, trying to say the right things, trying to do the right things, trying to be, ultimately a different version of myself, I just started to feel like smaller and weaker the more I did that. So the more I tried to fit in and say the right corporate things and made sure that I didn't piss anybody off and make sure that I never disagreed with what everyone else was saying, I just started to feel worse and worse and worse. I felt less like myself. And, I don't know if it's just the fact that as I got older into my late 20s, early 30s, I started to have just more confidence and stop giving a crap what people thought. But that's what happened. Yeah, I started to care a little bit about what people thought a little less. And I tried to bring my own style into work. And, I was really, at the end of the day, kind of tired of all the suck-ups and the copycats and the corporate robots. Everyone was saying the same thing. They were all doing the same thing, and at the end of the day, that's just not very interesting to me. If you're just the same as everybody else, doing the same as everybody else, you're not differentiating yourself. And how can you expect to stand out and get a promotion? Or how can you expect to go far in your career if you're just a copy of everybody else? And, eventually I kind of just had enough, right? And I was tired of putting on that show at work. I was tired of pretending to be an extrovert when I was really an introvert. I was tired of pretending that I liked to go out after work every night and just tired of pretending, right? That's ultimately what it was. It's exhausting to put on a show, to pretend to be something that you're not in order to fit a mold or to fit in somewhere. So, what I did is I started small. I started bringing just a little humor at work. Before that, I was pretty serious at work, right? I thought work is work. You're there to put your head down and get as much results as possible, add as much value. But I realized eventually that we're all human beings, right? And we don't work with just robots, and that's not what we want to do. And so I thought, well, why don't I just bring a little humor to work? So I started making fun of myself, and I started making jokes around the office and started doing fun little pranks, things like that. Of course, all work appropriate, nothing inappropriate, but just fun stuff. Things where I basically was showing the team, I'm not taking myself too serious, and neither should you. And, the more I did that, the more my team liked me, the more they actually showed up to work and got even better results, because there was some psychological safety. There was some sort of understanding, okay, this is who Austin is. He's not pretending to be something he's not. So, okay, do we like this guy? Great, let's follow him. If we don't, okay, that's okay too, right? And, it felt a lot better the more I started kind of being myself and bringing my own unique spin to work and not saying what I think I needed to say and not being a suck up just in order to get ahead. Man, I started feeling better. My soul started feeling better. The people around me started to resonate with it more. So definitely some advantages for being yourself. And what I'll say is I think I think it takes some guts up front, because you're basically having to have the confidence to say, hey, I don't know if people are going to like me. I don't know if this is going to work out. Maybe people are going to think I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm going to say dumb shit. Maybe I'm going to step on my toes. But I'm okay with that, because I'm tired of being something I'm not. I'm tired of pretending that this is a version of Austin at work, right? And it's just not who I am. So I think I would highly recommend taking a little experiment, doing a little experiment at work, and just trying to inject just a little bit more of who you are at work. So next time you're in a meeting, maybe that's you speaking up and saying something that's on everybody's mind, but no one's saying. Or maybe that is giving some feedback to someone on your team that's different from everyone else. Maybe that's staying true to your motivations at work the same you would at home. So like if everyone wants to go out after work and have a drink, and you're not really a person that drinks at home, then don't go out, right? Maybe you just are honest, like, hey guys, I just don't really like to drink. That's just not my vibe. But like next time you guys are going out, golfing or bowling or whatever, count me in, but I just don't think I'm going to go to this one. Right? It takes a little confidence. You have to be willing to be a little different, a little weird, a little out of the ordinary compared to everyone else. But I've also realized, and I've come to kind of understand, that the more you can bring your original self to work, the more you can be different, the more people start to appreciate you for it, because people are thirsty. They're dying for originality, authenticity, and work. Because, like I said earlier, everyone's the same. Everyone's a clone of someone else. They're all trying to be like their boss and their boss's boss. So they're dressing the right way. They're saying the right things. They're doing the right things, but there's no substance there. It's all just image, right? And so the more you can bring your own self to work, the more you can be authentically you. Gosh, man, people eat that up. They love it. They resonate with it. They're going to want to follow you. They're going to want to work harder for you. And it's also going to encourage them to bring their true selves to work. So imagine you could have a team where everyone's who they are outside of work as they are inside of work. I mean, that's pretty powerful, right? You're going to have less misunderstandings. You're going to move faster. You're going to go further. And some, easy ways to kind of start doing that right now as we wrap up this short episode is pick something that work that you would normally hold back on. And I want you to get out of your comfort zone a little bit and try doing something that's a little different. So if you normally wouldn't speak up during a meeting, I want you to raise your hand and speak up. And if you normally would laugh at dirty jokes at work, but that's not who you are at home, don't laugh next time, right? Or if everyone's going out after work on Friday, but that's not who you are, you don't want to go out after work, don't go out after work. You don't need to do anything to fit in. You just need to be confident that you are enough, that the value you bring, your originality, your weirdness is enough, and that people will actually appreciate you for it. And again, the last thing I'll say is it just takes that little bit of confidence up front to be different, to say, it's okay if people don't like me. I'm still valuable. There's a tribe out there. There's somebody out there that's going to resonate with me. And you'll be surprised. The more you bring your true self, the more you talk about the things that are important to you, the more that you bring your real self to work and not try to fit in, the more you will find success. It's just simple as that. So I hope that was helpful. It's kind of an interesting, different episode today. Just me literally, again, sharing all the thoughts about being yourself at work, but it's something I'm really passionate about, something that I struggled with for so many years as a people pleaser, trying to do and say the right things. The moment I gave that up, gosh, what freedom it was. Gosh, what it felt like. I just can't tell you what it felt like to start being myself at work. So if you've been on the fence and you've been thinking like, man, gosh, maybe I should try to be a little bit more myself at work, or like I'm tired of being like everyone else, this is the sign for you. This is the sign. Try it out this week. Start with something small. Don't go crazy. Try it with something small. See what people respond to you like, and keep doing it, man. The more you do it, the easier it gets. I just want to say thank you. Thanks for listening to the episode today. It was a different one, but I appreciate your engagement, appreciate the support of the show, and hope you have a wonderful day. This has been the Introvert Leader Podcast. Subscribe for new episodes every other Wednesday.